Here we go. And I'm hearing it's a copycat of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Oh my God.
That's some serious news. A Fox News alert reports say 3 people have been critically injured at a Dallas ICE facility after shots rang out this morning.
Police responded to calls around 7 a.m. local time. Agents reportedly approached the suspect, who then apparently shot himself.
Let's go to Griff Jenkins in studio with some of the information that he's learning. Do we have Griff?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian. This is
Griff.
What ICE fears most.
I actually didn't know that was a real name because the only time I ever heard it was Back to the Future 2. And I knew it was Biff. And then Griff. I just thought they made it up to make it sound like Biff. It's a real name. Okay.
And that is an attack on them. Fox can confirm through ICE sources that there was this attack this morning at the Dallas facility. Shots were fired into the sally port of this facility along the freeway there in Dallas, and the ICE confirms that the shooter is down, a self-inflicted wound, and that 3 individuals have been hit. Their condition unknown. We're continuing to try and learn more about this as you look live here and can see the tremendous law enforcement response. But ICE telling me in no clearer way that they call this, quote, a clear attack on ICE. Now, this comes as we have seen a more than 1,000.
So I'm going to check out another video after this one, right? Which says there's writings on the shells, the casings of the bullets. I'm just waiting for people to start arguing about whether the dude was left or right. I can't wait to see this.
Increase of assaults on ICE officers, and now this morning tragically we're learning that this shooter apparently fired indiscriminately into the sally port. Unclear whether ICE officers or detainees or who may have been injured, but at least 3 individuals have been shot. The shooter is down through a self-inflicted wound. We'll bring you more as we get it, guys.
Just working back some sources back and forth here.
Hope nobody died.
This information is very fluid, but from what I'm hearing from my sources, this happened as they were unloading some of these detainees when the shots started to ring out. Are you hearing the same thing?
That's exactly right, Lawrence, and that's why I mentioned that sally port. So apparently it occurred when detainees were being brought into the sally port. Okay. This shooter, we're not sure exactly where he was located, but was able to shoot into that sally port.
So these are people that ICE caught and were bringing them out, and that's when they decided to.
Struck at least 3 people. That shooter now is down from this self-inflicted wound, so we may not know exactly what his plan was, what they were intending to do, other than to shoot people this morning at an ICE facility. We're learning more as we get it, and particularly we're interested, obviously, in learning about the conditions of the 3 individuals that were struck this morning.
Yeah, that's I-35. The east side is where you see most of the traffic. People are probably slowing down to watch and see what's going on. Look at all of the police cars. There's so many lights that go all the way up to the top. This is the access road in Texas. You have your main highway, and then you always have those access roads that run alongside or parallel to the highway.
Hey, Griff, I also noticed that some people are reporting the sniper was on a rooftop. Have you heard that?
So we don't have that confirmed ourselves, but I'm talking directly to ICE authorities, and we're going to learn more about that. But I did see a local report that there would be a rooftop. And Brian, as you look at both the map on our screen as well as the surrounding area of the law enforcement response, you can see several rooftops. And for anyone that's, been to a facility like this, the sally port is sort of the wide open garage where you bring detainees, excuse me, not just in ICE, but in law enforcement, the police station, if you will. There's a place where they bring these people to be processed in. And so if indeed this individual is able to find a rooftop with a direct line of sight into that sally port, that would be tremendously dangerous. But we'll learn more, I guess, as we hear from the ICE authorities directly.
So just big picture as we zoom in on the story, Griff, this is the second facility in Texas to be attacked where an agent has been shot. We don't know if an agent was shot in this case, but it's the second attack that we've experienced in Texas. They had started to reinforce some of these buildings, bring in more assets to protect them, yet something like this still happens, Griff.
Yeah, and it's a great point that you raise, Lawrence, because I think what you will likely see, and we're already seeing it. Remember, I was on the first couple of days out in Chicago for Operation Midway Blitz. And the ICE facility there, the Broadview facility, if you will, the protesters can get right up to the gate. I'm hearing that.
All right. Get a feeling they're going to keep elaborating on what just happened and not give us anything new. Now I want to see this thing about the bullet casings.
Nicole Parker, former FBI special agent and Fox News contributor. I mean, as you hear Chad Wolf lay that out, I mean, that is specific. What else should we know at this point? What are we looking at?
I do think that that's absolutely critical to the investigation is the anti-ICE sentiments written on the shell casings, and we are seeing a pattern of that. We saw, writings on shell casings with Mangione.
This dude killed 2 people, man.
With the Charlie Kirk tragedy, things of this nature, it's becoming common. People are getting inspired by others, and I appreciate Senator Ted Cruz,
Sick,
very, very strong, saying this will not be tolerated. This has
Understand
got to
mental
stop.
illness.
Some things that I picked up on, Harris, as a former FBI agent, the FBI will take lead of this investigation because it was an attack on a federal facility and an attack potentially on federal officers, these ICE officers. Having done prisoner transport, obviously a little bit different. I know when I've done prisoner transport to the federal detention center, and in Miami, for example, we pull in our vehicle with the subject in the back of the car. We pull into the sally port, and there's literally a gate that comes down before we get out of our vehicle. So it looks like maybe the ICE facility in Dallas has a different sort of protocol there, that this individual is able to haphazardly fire to a van. So again, their target, they don't even seem to have had eyes on the target. They were just firing at whoever was in the van. And earlier you had on Trey Gowdy, who asked a very good question about motive. But I think as a result of the press conference, it is probably a target on the ICE officers and not on the individuals that were being processed.
Here's something new that is just coming in.
Yeah, I didn't think it was on the people being processed. Thought it was on the ICE agents.
My team is telling me this now. To make your point, Nicole, it was an unmarked, hard-sided van. So the fact that there were detainees in it, probably not known, or heavily perhaps not known by the person who was firing, because it was difficult to see who would have been in that van. Finish your point. I just wanted to get that in there.
You are exactly right, Harris. That is a very, very important point to the investigation. Again, a lot of times these are, like you said, an unmarked van. This is something that when they're doing these ERO operations, I know that the FBI has helped with many of them. It's kind of an all hands on deck with Trump's platform and getting rid of those that are not here legally. Most of the time the hits are earlier in the morning. And so this person, again, without knowing, may know the pattern and may have been keeping an eye on this ICE facility and knowing, okay, they typically do these processings early in the morning. Yeah. So, they'll do a full investigation to this individual when they were typically seen around the facility, if they were seen around doing surveillance leading up to this tragedy. But it will be an FBI investigation. I do know that the FBI's evidence response team from the Dallas field office is on the ground at the facility processing the crime scene. This will be an all hands on deck. Obviously, the subject is deceased with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, so this will not be going to trial potentially, but don't kid yourself. The FBI is going to do a full investigation to see if this
could be other people behind it
to anybody else.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this constant attacks on ICE. This is unacceptable. It cannot continue to happen in our country. These are officers that are putting their lives on the line every single day. They did not make up these laws. They are enforcing laws that have been on the books forever. And frankly, it is because of Joe Biden's open border that they are dealing with this problem in the first place. Millions of people crossed into our country illegally, and Trump is doing everything he can to make sure that people are removed from our nation.
I want to point out to something. You were talking about the FBI investigation, and the lower part of our screen was saying that the FBI, and we learned this in the news conference, is investigating this as targeted violence.
Wait a minute. Where's the thing about the bullets?
Nicole Parker, former FBI special agent and Fox News contributor. I mean, as you hear Chad Wolf lay that out, I mean, that is specific.
Did I miss it?
What else should we know?
Was that a zoning?
What are we looking at?
ICE sentiments written on the shell casing.
Oh, okay. Right there at the beginning.
We saw, right into the investigation is the anti-ICE sentiments written on the shell case. And I do think that that's absolutely critical to the investigation is the anti-ICE sentiments written on the shell casings. And we are seeing a pattern of that. We saw, writings on shell casings with Mangione, with the Charlie Kirk tragedy. Things of this.
I must have been zoning on that part. And because I remember her saying the Charlie Kirk tragedy. I must have been zoned out. Wow, man. It's ridiculous. I got so much to do. I just got done doing that state of play. Talking about this. Got to find out some more about this, definitely. But it's looking like copycat, like, in a way, writing on the casings, targeted violence. Oh, boy. Anyway, post the comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about this. If you got any more details, put them in the comments. Help us all out.